So I figured out what you have to type to get it to pop up. And you can see how buried it is because there's only one video that has this as the thumbnail. And if you scroll past it too fast, you might miss it. But why isn't the media talking about any of this stuff? If you know about what's behind all these videos and what the meaning with pizza is, you would know that there's something incredibly wrong. When you see that TP USA guy have that pizza tattoo on his lip, you should know that there's something seriously, seriously wrong with all of this and that it isn't what the media is telling you because it's obvious clues and they're not hidden in any way. It's it it's like if somebody was standing at a crime scene with their hands covered in blood or maybe their hands covered in messages about pedophilia, and you're sitting there, you know like, oh, I don't know who to question, I don't know who to ask about any of this stuff. So here's what I want to say. This dickhead right here, we used to think it was fish 14s what they were meant, but I thought about something the other day when I put up that Ghislaine Maxwell video. And maybe she really is talking about the price of fish, knowing what we know now with how the government can control the oceans. They even say whoever controls the oceans controls the world. And that Terramore says that. And so maybe there is ways to that they are controlling the fish, controlling the wildlife, the sea life, and controlling the currents in favor of certain populations on the world. I won't say the word country. I don't believe in countries, but certain ports that need those to survive. So, in other words, sorry, in exchange for turning their backs on what they know is coming through their ports. So, in other words, you would get uh, wherever you want to traffic the children, Japan, fucking, Korea, Saudi Arabia, wherever the fuck, wherever you could move fish to them, you could make currents flow to them in favor of them and make, and, uh, I can't think of the goddamn word. In They would pay you back by turning their back on what you bring through their ports. Now, I already told you the art and embassies and the Terramore project get to move things undetected throughout the whole world. So I don't know how truthful this is. And maybe it really does just mean fish 14s. Um, the the fucking The other thing I wanted to say about the Tales from the Crypt episode is that episode is way more just like nail on the head than any of the other that's stories that are in that show. Like I said, most of them are kind of like sororities and like financial institutions or fucking, like a group of ghosts that haunt a bar or some stupid shit. And then that one's like a full on, it's, the secret society journalist infiltrates it. It's got a somewhat of a real plot to it, and it just felt so. Some of their, they have a few every now and then. There's one other one that I can think of that's kind of just like feels like it's telling you things about Hollywood, and it makes sense that a horror show, one of the ones that was more on the scary side, like it wasn't like the Twilight Zone where things didn't really have an unhappy ending. The Tales from the Crypt always had a pretty gruesome ending, even if it was kind of ridiculous. So it makes sense that that show, which also featured tons and tons of stars, it always had star-studded casts, would be telling us what Hollywood was really up to. So, all right, that's kind of, I just wanted to bring this up and show everybody that this is the number one. This was the top Democrat lobbyist, top donor for the Democratic Party for a long time, and we have known that him and his brother are pedophiles. WikiLeaks showed us all of that. We have known about it. When you have Nick Fuentes coming up there and saying, well, this was just statutory rape, it was just 15-year-old girls, it was just barely illegal girls they were trafficking. No. These guys, we have it in the emails that people don't want to fucking acknowledge, that these people were going to a party at this guy's brother's house, which has pedophilia artwork all over it. And at that party, there was going to be 6, 8, and 11-year-old fucking kids that were the entertainment. They were going to be in swimsuits. So it's just sick. These people are all sick fucking pedophiles, and the news won't give you the real goddamn story on it. If you think that any sort of accountability is really fucking happening, you're retarded. Stop paying your taxes. Stop sending your children to these fucking indoctrination camps they call schools, and stop showing up to their fucking clown courts where they make you where they make you the goddamn criminal for defending yourself.